Imagine waking up one morning, feeling inexplicably angry. You snap at your loved ones, lash out in traffic, and find yourself consumed by an unsettling rage that seems completely foreign to you. Maybe it's not anger. Perhaps it's crippling self-doubt that whispers insidious lies, or a sudden urge to indulge in reckless behaviors, pushing boundaries you swore you wouldn't cross. These seemingly irrational bursts of emotion, these unexpected shifts in personality, they can be deeply unsettling and confusing. Building on this internal struggle, we begin to grapple with a fundamental question. Who are we truly? Our everyday persona, the one we present to the world, often feels like a carefully curated mask, concealing a deeper, more complex reality. This hidden facet of ourselves, the part we repress, deny, or even fear, is what Carl Jung called the shadow self. Jung, a pioneering Swiss psychiatrist and psychoanalyst, believed that within each individual resides a collection of archetypes universal, inherited patterns of thought and behavior. These archetypes shape our perceptions, influence our actions, and color our experiences. While some archetypes represent positive qualities like courage, creativity, or compassion, others embody the darker aspects of human nature: envy, greed, aggression, and fear. The shadow self encompasses these negative archetypes, holding within it all that we deem unacceptable, undesirable, or shameful. It's a reservoir of primal instincts, repressed desires, and unacknowledged emotions. However, Jung also understood the shadow self not as inherently evil, but as an integral part of our psyche. Repressing it does not make it disappear. Instead, it can fester in the unconscious, influencing our thoughts and behaviors in subtle, often destructive ways. This leads us to a crucial point. Understanding and integrating the shadow self is essential for psychological wholeness and personal growth. Think about those moments when you experience intense anger, jealousy, or self-doubt. These aren't simply isolated events. They are glimpses into the workings of your shadow self. Ignoring these emotional outbursts only allows them to grow stronger, manifesting in unhealthy behaviors and relationships. Instead, we must approach these experiences with curiosity and compassion. By acknowledging the presence of our shadow self, we can begin the process of understanding its motivations and integrating its energy into our conscious selves. This journey of integration is not a passive one. It requires courage, self-reflection, and a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves. Yet the rewards are immense. By embracing the entirety of who we are, both light and shadow, we can achieve a deeper sense of authenticity, self-acceptance, and psychological maturity. The path to wholeness begins with acknowledging the hidden facets within, accepting them without judgment, and ultimately weaving them into the tapestry of our being. This is the profound journey that awaits us in the world of Jungian archetypes and shadow self-integration. By acknowledging the presence of our shadow self, we open a door to a deeper understanding of ourselves, a realm where ancient psychological forces dance with our conscious experience. But why do we feel this way? Why does the shadow hold such power over us? Building on this recognition, delving into the psychology behind these feelings takes us back to the brilliant minds who laid the groundwork for modern understanding of the psyche: Sigmund Freud and Carl Jung. Freud, with his groundbreaking theories on the unconscious, illuminated how repressed desires, anxieties, and traumas reside beneath the surface of our awareness, influencing our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors in often subtle but profound ways. He posited that the human mind is a battlefield between competing forces: the id, driven by primal instincts; the ego, striving for balance and rationality; and the superego, internalizing societal norms and moral values. Conflicts arise when these forces clash, leading to inner turmoil and psychological distress. The shadow self, in this Freudian framework, can be seen as a manifestation of the repressed ID, containing those aspects of ourselves that we deem unacceptable or taboo: aggression, jealousy, lust, and self-serving desires pushed into the unconscious to protect our fragile sense of social acceptability. However, Jung, Freud's student and later collaborator, went further, expanding on the concept of the unconscious to encompass a vast collective reservoir of archetypes, universal symbols and patterns that reside within the human psyche. He believed these archetypes are inherited blueprints, passed down through generations, shaping our perceptions, motivations, and even dreams. Among these archetypes is the shadow self, not merely a repository of repressed impulses, but a potent force representing the totality of our unconscious personality. It encompasses both positive and negative aspects, the light and dark sides of our being. Jung saw the shadow as an integral part of individuation, the process of becoming a whole and integrated person. Integrating the shadow self, according to Jung, is not about eradicating these darker aspects, but rather acknowledging their existence, understanding their origins, and finding ways to channel their energy constructively. By facing our fears, embracing our imperfections, and accepting the totality of our being, we can achieve psychological wholeness and live more authentically. This process isn't easy. It requires courage to confront the uncomfortable truths within ourselves, to look into the abyss of our own darkness without succumbing to its pull. It demands honesty with ourselves, a willingness to admit our flaws and imperfections, and the strength to accept them as part of what makes us human. The reasons why we resist this integration are deeply rooted in societal conditioning and our own self-preservation instincts. We're taught from a young age to suppress undesirable emotions and behaviors, to conform to societal norms, and to present a polished facade to the world. This internal pressure to be good often leads to repression of our shadow self, pushing those uncomfortable aspects further into the unconscious, where they fester and influence our behavior in unhealthy ways. Fear also plays a significant role. Facing our shadow can feel terrifying. Confronting our deepest insecurities, vulnerabilities, and primal instincts can shake our sense of self-worth and stability. Yet, this fear is often rooted in a misunderstanding of the shadow self. It's not an embodiment of evil or darkness, but a complex and multifaceted aspect of ourselves that holds immense potential for growth and transformation. By integrating the shadow, we don't erase our flaws. We learn to understand them, accept them, and ultimately use them as catalysts for personal evolution. The journey into the realm of the shadow self is not a linear path. It's a winding, often tumultuous voyage through the depths of our being. There will be moments of resistance, fear, and self-doubt, but also periods of profound insight, liberation, and connection to our authentic selves. The rewards are immeasurable: increased self-awareness, emotional maturity, greater creativity, and a deeper sense of wholeness. The journey into the realm of the shadow self is not merely a personal odyssey. It's a philosophical exploration that echoes through the ages. Think of ancient Stoics like Seneca, who believed in mastering our emotions and confronting life's challenges with unwavering reason. He might say, "To deny your shadow is to embrace a facade, a limited perception of reality." True wisdom lies in acknowledging all aspects of ourselves, the light and the darkness, and finding strength in their balance. This integration of opposites, this pursuit of wholeness, resonates deeply with Nietzsche's philosophy as well. Building on this concept of self-acceptance, he might exclaim, "Embrace your shadow. Do not shy away from its power, its primal urges, its untamed spirit. It is within these dark recesses that you'll find the raw materials for creating a life of true, meaning a life lived with courage, passion, and an unwavering will to self-creation." However, this doesn't imply succumbing to our baser instincts or embracing chaos. It's about understanding their origins, recognizing their influence, and ultimately channeling them towards constructive ends. It's about transforming the fear of the shadow into a source of creative energy, pushing beyond conventional boundaries and forging new paths. This shift in perspective, this redefining of darkness, is crucial. For centuries, we've been conditioned to view the shadow as something inherently negative, something to be repressed or eradicated. This leads to a fractured self, a fragmented experience of life where we live in constant fear of exposure or judgment. But what if, instead of fighting our shadow, we embraced it? What if we saw it not as an obstacle, but as a catalyst for growth? A guide on the path towards individuation, the process of becoming a complete and authentic human being. Imagine a world where individuals are no longer afraid to acknowledge their vulnerabilities, their imperfections, where they embrace their passions, their anger, their grief not as weaknesses but as integral parts of their human experience. This is the world Nietzsche envisioned, a world where individuals transcend the limitations of societal norms and forge their own unique paths, guided by their inner compass and fueled by the power of their shadow self. This integration isn't about becoming morally perfect or achieving some idealized state of being. It's about accepting our totality, the light and the dark, as part of what makes us human. It's about recognizing that within each of us lies a vast reservoir of untapped potential, waiting to be explored. The shadow self is not something to fear. It's a source of immense power, creativity, and ultimately, self-discovery. It's a call to embark on a journey of self-knowledge, a process of peeling back the layers of conditioning and societal expectations to reveal the authentic core of our being. It's a lifelong endeavor, one that requires courage, vulnerability, and an unwavering commitment to personal growth. But the rewards are immeasurable: a deeper connection to ourselves, a richer understanding of the human experience, and ultimately, the freedom to live a life true to our own unique essence. It's not merely about intellectual understanding, it's about practical application. So, how do we begin this journey of integration? How do we bring our shadow self into the light and weave it into the tapestry of our being? Building on this recognition, let's explore some tangible steps you can take today to start your journey of self-discovery and shadow work. Firstly, cultivate mindfulness. Pay attention to your recurring thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Notice those patterns that seem repetitive, automatic, or perhaps even a little uncomfortable. These often offer glimpses into the hidden workings of your shadow self. Journaling can be incredibly helpful here, allowing you to pour out your thoughts and feelings without judgment. However, mindfulness isn't just about introspection. It's also about being present in your interactions with others. Notice how people react to you, what triggers certain emotions, and how you respond in different situations. This external feedback can offer valuable insights into the ways your shadow self might be manifesting in your relationships. This leads us to the second step: dream analysis. Dreams are often considered a direct window into our subconscious mind, a realm where the conscious and unconscious meet. Pay attention to recurring symbols, characters, or themes in your dreams. They can hold powerful clues about the aspects of your shadow self that are seeking expression. Keep a dream journal by your bed, and record your dreams as soon as you wake up. Look for patterns and connections between different dreams. They might reveal deeper meanings and hidden messages. The third step is engaging with art. Creative expression can be a powerful tool for accessing and processing the emotions associated with our shadow self. Whether it's painting, sculpting, writing poetry, playing music, or any other form of artistic exploration, allow yourself to express those hidden feelings without censorship. Don't worry about creating something beautiful or perfect. The process itself is what matters, allowing your inner world to flow freely onto the canvas, the page, or the stage. However, remember that shadow work isn't a solitary endeavor. Connecting with others can provide invaluable support and guidance. This leads us to the fourth step: seeking out a therapist or counselor who specializes in Jungian psychology. A trained professional can help you navigate the complexities of your shadow self, offer tools for integration, and provide a safe space for processing difficult emotions. Remember, it takes courage to face our shadows, and having someone walk alongside you on this journey can make all the difference. Finally, be patient with yourself. Integrating the shadow self is a lifelong process, a continuous dance between acceptance, understanding, and transformation. There will be times of joy, frustration, resistance, and breakthroughs. Embrace the entire journey, every step, every stumble, every triumph as part of your unique path to wholeness. Embrace the entire journey, every step, every stumble, every triumph as part of your unique path to wholeness. But how does this integration manifest in our everyday lives? How does acknowledging and embracing our shadow self translate into real, tangible change? Building on this understanding, we begin to see that the process of integrating the shadow is not merely a psychological exercise. It's a catalyst for personal transformation that ripples outward, affecting our relationships, our creativity, and even our contributions to the world. It allows us to shed limiting beliefs, break free from unconscious patterns, and step into our full potential. However, this integration isn't always easy. The shadow, by its very nature, holds within it both darkness and light. It contains our repressed desires, fears, and traumas, aspects of ourselves that we may have deemed unacceptable or undesirable. Confronting these shadows can be emotionally challenging, requiring us to confront deeply ingrained beliefs and patterns that we may not even be consciously aware of. This is where the importance of self-compassion comes into play. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer a friend struggling with similar challenges. Acknowledge your pain, validate your feelings, and remember that healing takes time. There will be moments when you feel overwhelmed, frustrated, or even tempted to retreat from the process. In those moments, remember that you are not alone. Seek out support from loved ones, trusted friends, or a therapist who specializes in Jungian psychology. This leads us to a profound realization. Integrating the shadow is not a solitary journey, it's a collective one. By acknowledging and embracing our own shadows, we create space for others to do the same. We foster empathy, understanding, and compassion within ourselves and those around us. This interconnectedness allows us to build healthier relationships, break down societal barriers, and cultivate a more inclusive and compassionate world. Imagine a society where individuals are empowered to embrace their wholeness, both light and shadow, where vulnerability is seen as strength and authenticity is celebrated, where we can engage in honest and open conversations about our fears, desires, and struggles without judgment or shame. This vision may seem idealistic, but it's within reach if we each commit to the transformative journey of shadow integration. This is a call to greatness, a call to step beyond the confines of our perceived limitations and embrace the full spectrum of our human experience. It's a call to recognize that our shadows are not something to be feared or hidden, but rather a source of immense power and potential. By integrating our shadow self, we unlock our true selves, individuals who are whole, compassionate, and capable of making a profound impact on the world. Remember this: every act of courage, every step towards self-acceptance, every moment of vulnerability is a victory. It's a testament to your resilience, your strength, and your unwavering commitment to becoming the best version of yourself. The journey may be challenging, but the rewards are immeasurable. Embrace the darkness, for within it lies the potential for extraordinary light.